Welcome back for the second half of our doubleheader as the Viking men will take on the Pioneers of Mid-America Nazarene in should be a very exciting match between these two teams. I'm Ken Guayaba. Chaz Matty alongside, and Chaz, the Vikings have one loss in conference. That came Saturday on a wet field at Grandview. They're looking to stay at least in that tie with Baker with a win tonight.
And Ken, the Valley Vikings team has been really, very good throughout the whole course of the season. Valley Simich has done a very good job in getting this team together, and right now the Vikings sit at the top of the standings, ranked 4th in the nation. Here's the second half of the standings. As you see the bottom half, Mount Mercy and Culver and Graceland, all those teams are fighting for position in terms of this. But if we go to the previous graphics page, go to page 7 in graphics, then we can look at the top half of the standings, where we'll see the Vikings are number 1 in the conference at 7-1. Baker, 6th ranked team in the nation, right behind the Vikings. Big matchup coming up a week from Saturday against those Wildcats. That may be for the top spot in the conference tournament. CMU at 13, that game is next week. Also on the road in Fayette. Grandview at 6-2-1. Mid-America, the 25th ranked team in the nation tonight, playing on this field. They're looking for a position also.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup. In goalie for the Vikings, we have Patrick Irankunda. We'll talk about his numbers in a moment. Ross Clark is one of the defensemen. Also, Marit Gerson is in the starting lineup. Luka Gluszkiewicz wears number 6. He is out of Serbia. James McLaren from Luton, England, is a midfielder. Dominic Newton out of Manchester, England. Sergio Toro, Pedro Garcia in the starting lineup for the Vikings tonight, along with Uros Ilic and Joan Martoro. So there you have the starting lineup for the Vikings, who are in their bright orange jerseys with the white shorts and a very easy to read white numeral on the back. As far as the Pioneers, hey, we're going to get our wish tonight. We're going to see jerseys that looks like they're going to be almost impossible to read. They have a gray looking jersey on and with some red numerals. Oh, you can see those numbers in the back. And we'll give their starting lineup as we roll along here. But we're ready tonight for soccer, the second half of our doubleheader. And the Vikings we're going to have some comments from head coach Vladimir Simic here in just a bit. He's very happy to be home on the turf and not on that wet grass that he played on at Grandview. Not making excuses. Grandview played a good match. The Vikings lost at 1-0.
And Grandview is a pretty solid team.
Yes.
I think they're 25th in the nation. Yep. So the Hart Conference, very well represented in the NAIA top 25. I think it's 6 teams that are in the standings there for the latest coaches poll that came out. So, yeah, losing to Grandview in a tough environment. And the game was played on Sunday. Rain, storms, and lightning pushed it back to Sunday. Valley had got a showing of a lot of rain and lightning on Saturday night, which is part of why that game got moved to Sunday up in Iowa.
This broadcast copyrighted by the Mass Communications Department of the Communications, Humanities, and Human Service Division of Missouri Valley College for the private use of our audience. Any retransmission or the use of the content of this broadcast without the express written consent of Missouri Valley College is prohibited. So we're ready for exciting soccer tonight between these two teams. If you have not watched the Vikings play, they use that speed. They will send it all over the field. Transportation considerations provided by Elmer Hare Ford in Marshall. When we go on the road, it's always in a Ford from Elmer Hare Ford in Marshall. No score was just underway on this match on Greg Mitchell Field.
And the Pioneers have a player down. In the evening, getting a little cooler.
Yep.
A little bit knee-to-knee or elbow-to-elbow contact is going to feel a little more sharply be felt.
Juan Riesco, the senior out of Chile, Santiago, Chile, is in goal for the Pioneers. Dominic Harrington, Johannes Kaisers, Luke Fisher, Matthias Cavao, Trey Hunyak, Philippe Abreu, Yolan Flores in the starting lineup, along with Jacob Bussman, Chuck Pond, Jonathan Taylor, and Ivan Vidal. Well, you have the starting lineup for the Pioneers. And their number's not quite as easy to read as those of the Vikings. They have a gray uniform.
The numbers are white. They're just thin.
So here we go. The Vikes trying to go on the attack. And this one is sent all the way in. In the women's game, 2-1 Pioneers. The Pioneers right in that log jam for 2nd through 5th place, and the Vikings with that loss dropped all the way to 6th tonight from 2nd.
And so the clock stops now with 41:52 to play, and the Pioneers have another player down on the far 40. And they're calling the trainers out.
And he is player is down as a trainer check comes in to check on him.
Is that the same player from a moment ago? I can't quite tell. And it's a 7 on their front, so Mattias Cabello.
Okay. Mattias looks like Cabello, but he uses a V. It's Cavajo.
Okay.
Out of Chile. Several of these players from Chile. In fact, it looks like 3 or 4 on this squad, more than that. Pioneers always have a good men's soccer program. They come into this match with a record of 5-2-1. The Vikings are 7-1, tied with Baker. Baker playing Evangel tonight. We'll probably have those scores by about halftime of this one, I would think. Valley and Baker 7-1, as you saw the graphic earlier. Central Methodist 6-1-2, and Grandview 6-2-1. Then this team 5-2-1. Benedictine outscored Avila 3-1 earlier today, and they're 6-3 on the season. So, ready to resume play. The Vikings will have possession. And they'll work it up their right side. Vikings keep the pressure on early on.
That was a heck of a chance by the Vikings there. I think it got
Here come the Vikings again, working their right side. I think Vladi would like to see an early goal tonight. Always want to see an early goal, but he'd like to have an early one tonight to get the lead, get things going again. This one's knocked away by one of the defensemen. These two teams score a few goals. The Vikings have 34 goals on the year, and the Pioneers 39. The Pioneers have given up just 13. The Vikings have given up a total of 6 goals this year. So very good defensive team. Here's a shot. Going up for the save is Riesco. And he will run to the front of the 18-yard box and send this one into Viking territory. Pioneers hustling down to get possession. Working their right side here. We'll get those comments from Vladi Simic here in just a moment. He knows everybody in this conference. You better be ready every night. There's some good soccer. Here's a pass to the middle. And this shot is partially blocked, and it goes well to the right. And Aaron Kunda is there to... Aaron Kunda is there to
knock it away.
Knock it away. Aaron Kunda, you can't miss him. He's wearing that fluorescent yellow. Looks like a highlighter in goal. Here's the corner, and it's knocked away. Oh, good chance for a shot, and an early goal by the Pioneers. The Vikings couldn't knock it away, and then from about 15 yards out, the Pioneers got the goal. They got the defender on his hip, and he scored. I didn't see who it was, Chaz. We'll find out, but a quick 1-0 lead for the Pioneers. That comes less than 6 minutes into this match. Wow.
And Volley couldn't clear the ball. The ball got fed back in by the Pioneers, and the ball was just, the shot was there for the taking, and there wasn't a whole lot Eric Nkunda can do to stop that. So
it was one-on-one. Here come the Pioneers again as they take it away from the Vikings.
That goal gets credited to Dominic Harrington.
So Harrington gets the goal.
And Karachi out of Paris, France, with the assist.
That's the 6th goal of the year for Harrington. Quickly 1-0. Wow, that didn't take long.
Got another chance here.
As the Pioneers put the pressure on early. So here come the Vikings. Trailing 1-0. McLaren has it. He'll work it up that left side. Trying to get it center a pass. It's knocked away. Vikings with possession. Here's Illich. Sends it all the way to the right side. And this is what the Vikings like to do. They will send it back and forth. They will use the entire field. Use that speed. Now they work it up the right side. The Pioneers are back defensively, leading 1-0. Early goal from Harrington. Harrington is out of Trinidad and Tobago. Okay. 37 minutes to go in the first half. Vikings on the far side. That was Montoro. Here come the Vikings. Pioneers are back. Vikes working right side. Here's the pass inside.
It's offside anyway.
Offside, and Riesco came out of goal to grab that one, but it was called offside.
Vikings have been close a couple of times. Just decent save and maybe a crossbar, and then flashing just ahead.
That was Toro who was offside. Pass to midfield, taken away by the Vikings. Now they will push it up. Working that left side, still with control. Here's a pass out front. Here's a shot, and it's saved by Riesco. A left foot on it, but didn't have a lot on it. Riesco able to make the save.
Yeah, I think Pedro Garcia is going to want to have this one back. He
Yeah.
had a chance to just blast the ball. I don't know that he got it cleanly. So we watched the replay. They tried to chip it in, but allowed Riesco to make what kind of like an easy save. Riesco did a nice job of moving from his right to left.
Yeah, both these teams score quite a few goals. I mentioned 39, 40 now for the Pioneers, 34 for the Vikings on the year. We've played about 10 minutes. Nice centering pass, and Riesco comes out to grab that one.
And Toro was charging hard.
Toro wanted that one, but Riesco was there. Boy, this is a fast pace, isn't it, early in this match?
It is. And it's one of the things that has been kind of Valley's reputation this year is speed, and more speed. So the fact that the pace of play has been pretty quick already isn't much of a surprise.
Here's Bussman to throw it in. Headed away. Vikings have to get back defensively. They do. That was battle for possession about 40 yards out on the Viking side. Vikes got possession. They waste no time putting it back in play. Taken away again by Motoro. I think that's McLaren over there on the far side. Illich to Clark. Nice pass back to Clark. Sending it back out front. Good defense, though. In the right place, right time. McLaren keeps it in the Pioneer zone.
And the Pioneers can't get it out. But for all the pressure, much like the game before, no shots.
Yep. That was a big win for the Pioneer women. And a tough loss for the Viking women. Their second loss in conference at home this year. Here's McLaren. Vikings again keeping it in that Pioneer end. Back to the middle. Here's a shot. It's blocked. Now the Pioneers bring it up the left side. On the run. Trying to stay onside. 33 minutes to go, first half.
It looked like Martorell kind of stagger step before trying to get that left foot on the shot. I don't know if he was looking for an angle or just waiting for a bounce he liked. But I believe it would have gone wide had it gone through. But blocked out in the front anyway, so doesn't matter.
Vikings with those long passes. Now this one's knocked out by the Pioneers. Coach Kevin Wardlaw standing in front of his bench. Vladi Simic in front of his. Two solid programs. A couple of years ago, these teams both teams made it to the semifinals. The Vikings lost to the eventual national champs in the semifinals, and the Pioneers lost to them in the final. So very good representation from this conference. The first goal came about 6 minutes in from Dominic Harrington. And here is Riesco. Sends it down the left side. Stays in play. And here come the Vikings on the run. Good passing by the Pioneers as they send it all the way across. Now back to the middle. They'll try the right side. Nothing there on the left. We'll bring it back to the right. They keep it in play right in front of the Viking bench. Now it's knocked out by the Vikings.
Oh, body there by Harrington.
Vikings back defensively. They tried to get this one to the middle. Knocked away by Valley. "30 minutes to go here in the first half. Again, no classes tomorrow or Friday at Missouri Valley. It's fall break. The football team will play Central Methodist here on Saturday. The volleyball team, I believe, has a match this weekend. And a lot of the students will be headed to Kansas, the Kansas Speedway, where It's kind of a tradition. A lot of the sports teams participate in and working the NASCAR weekend to raise money. So that's going on this weekend as well. Pioneers with that 1-0 lead. Vikings take it away and send this one back to Illich. Now the Vikes middle of the field, McLaren. Off to the right side. Pretty decent crowd here. It's a beautiful night. Beautiful night for soccer. This one headed away, kept in by the Vikings.
Clear night, cool, it's about 65 degrees.
Can't complain at all. A little jacket weather. I asked if you wanted me to bring my little portable heater, and you said no, and you made the right call.
Yeah.
Of course, last time I asked and you said no, it was last spring in lacrosse.
And I froze.
Turned down to about 30 degrees and spitting a little bit of ice, I think.
And I was hating my decision about halftime.
Nice night here. We'll be in Olathe in a few weeks to wrap up the regular season in football, and that probably in all likelihood will be the last game for both the Pioneers and the Vikings this year. Vikings with possession. Far side into the corner, trying to keep it in. And now they send it out. 28 minutes to go in the half. Women's match won by the Pioneers tonight, 2-1.
That ball was deflected out, so it'll be a corner kick for the Vikings.
Vikes get the corner. This first corner kick of the night, isn't it? I believe it is. And it'll be with the left foot. Sends it across. Ooh, I thought they were going to get the header, but it was headed out by one of the defensemen. Vikes keep it in. Here's a shot. Goal! What a nice goal that was. With the left foot and buried that one in the right side.
So whoever triggered came in and shot it. Diving attempt made, hits the left corner, and a wonderful goal by the Vikings.
So the Vikes tie this at 1-1. Again, we'll make it official here in a moment. I believe it was Glucevic. Glucevic gets the goal. Luka Glucevic with the goal. Yeah, he triggered it in with the left foot in the corner. It came right back to him, and he pounded that one in. So we're tied at 1. Glucevic, that is his first goal of the season. He has a couple of assists, but that's his first goal. And we're tied at 1. That was a pretty goal, wasn't it?
That was a heck of a shot, Johnny, on the spot, getting through the traffic that had been there in advance of the corner kick.
Yeah, he elevated that one just enough to get it by Riesco. So both teams with the first half goal. Nice move. Here's a working left side is Ross Clark. But it's taken back. Now McLaren trying to keep it in play. McLaren, a big guy.
And he took that one right off the chin.
Yep, out of England. Here's the throw in, knocked away. And the Vikings will have possession. Illich. And work it back to the right side.
Yeah, McLaren still rubbing his jaw. Periodically, that one stung.
26 minutes to go in the first half. We are tied at 1. Boy, nice footwork by the Vikings. Get it back to the middle. Now McLaren sends it back to the right. Toro in the middle of the field. And this is going to go out. Possession to the Pioneers. And Riesco over there. This one headed back by the Vikings. Under 25 minutes to go in the half.
So both teams came out with some pace, and both have goals, and it's kind of the last couple seconds it's kind of settled down, and a lot of play in the middle now.
McLaren will bring it up the left side for the Vikings. Sends it in, knocked away off the chest of one of the Pioneers, and it rolls out right at the feet of their head coach, Kevin Wardlaw. There's a trip on the far side. So back to the Vikings. McLaren. Nice footwork on the left side. Nice pass to the middle. Vikings keep possession. Trying to send it all the way back to their right. It's headed away. 23 and a half minutes to go here in the first half.
It was a long pass attempt.
Yeah,
trying to reach Garcia on that far side.
The Vikings really, they use that long pass a lot.
Well, when you have speed, you can stretch the field a little bit. Those long passes can be advantageous.
What was, the Evangel match. Was it 1-0 or something at half, and then the Vikings scored like 6 goals in the second half. They just wore the Crusaders out that night. Pioneers, though, scored the first goal. Now there's a trip. They're going to call this on the Vikings.
That's a bad break for Valley because it was a 2-on, well, at this point, like 2-on-2 situation that was developing. Vladimir Simic has his hands out. He doesn't understand. And there's a caucus in the field there explaining what exactly happened. I'm not sure Vladdy's buying it.
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
But
1-1 is our score.
As it was earlier, what the guy in the green shirt says is what goes.
What's going to happen? Yeah, we had a handball. It sure looked like a pretty obvious handball in the women's match. This one's headed back. And they get this one to Luke Fisher. He's out of Gardner, Kansas, which not far from Olathe. Hunyak's out of Overland Park, so have several from the area. Busman's from Manhattan, Kansas. So is Jonathan Taylor. Now in front, Aaron Kunda has to race across from his right to his left to get that one. Now his line drive kick to midfield. Now it's 1-on-1. Here come the Vikings. Vikes will keep it in play.
A little too far ahead on that dribble before being able to chase it down. There was really no one else with him, so I'm not sure what would have mattered.
Montoro works it to the left side. Pretty good footwork by the Vikings. Tried to keep this one in and did, I believe, but now it goes out beyond the goal.
No, they're saying he did not keep
it did not. He did not keep it in. Did not keep it in with the left foot. 20 minutes to go in this first half, 1-1. Again, the big matches, 4 matches left for Valley. After tonight, we'll go to Mount Mercy. On Saturday, Mount Mercy and Cedar Rapids 3 and 5. And we don't have a score on their game with their match with Graceland tonight. Then CMU next Wednesday. That'll be a big one. And then Baker here a week from Saturday. So a week from Saturday we'll have football from Evangel, not on MoVal, but we will have it on the KMMO radio, and then Jazz Maddie will get started with a doubleheader against Baker that evening with soccer from here. So it should be a fun day. Here's a shot. Good save. Sprawling save by Riesco.
And 2-0 Mount Mercy over Graceland.
Is that a final?
No, it's in the second half, it appears.
Okay. So that would be Graceland is 3 and 6, so Mount Mercy is ahead of them in the standings.
Goals by Nolan Armstrong and James Conversano for the Mustangs.
Beautiful campus, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Kick is good.
Kick is good up through the uprights.
That had some elevation. Yeah.
All right, before we get too far into this, had a few, just got a minute or so comments from Vladimir Simic. Let's listen to that interview. Vladimir Simic joins us just for a couple moments before this match with the Pioneers. And Coach, they're all big now with a couple weeks to go, aren't they? Every match very important.
Every match is the final for the rest of the regular season. So tonight we play a very, very good team. Mid-America is well known for a good style of soccer, and it's going to be a great match.
Probably good to be back on this turf after playing on that wet grass this last weekend, huh?
Home is the home, you know, so hopefully we can perform much better than last weekend.
How about this Mid-America team? What concerns you about it?
I mean, they have skillful players, and they play possessional games, something similar like what we do here, and they have some quality. They have some quality overall.
But you want to get your game back. You want to use that speed tonight, don't you?
Hopefully the speed will be the key, especially on a wing. So hopefully we can utilize our speed and score some goals.
All right, Coach. Let's talk. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so there you have Vladimir Simic, and you could just tell in his voice how important he knows that this game and the rest of them coming down the stretch are going to be for this team.
Well, he said it. Every game's a final. So, you know, if you want to maintain that positioning on top of the conference, or at the very worst, a 2 seed. You have to win, and a losing streak at this time of the year would be very, very bad for the Vikings.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the conference tournament here in just a few minutes as well, or at least the schedule for that conference tournament, as that will get started in a couple of weeks.
And still a lot to be decided. That first graph, or this technically the second graphic we showed, but the top of the standings, you have all the 6 teams in the top 25 or receiving votes in the Heart. There's a lot of jostling that's going on, and so really nothing at this point is for certain. And that, you know, if things play out like let's say chalk plays, that match next Saturday against Baker is huge.
Yeah, it'd be huge. Oh, another goal by the Pioneers, and that came from nowhere. We'll have to check the replay on that. That came from the far left side to the middle, and we'll have to wait and see who they gave that goal to. Wow, it's 2-1, and that came from about, 35 yards out.
I think it's Ivan Vidal that got there.
Is it Vidal who got it?
He was the receiver of a lot of high fives, so I'm going to guess it was him. It was Abreu who sent it in.
Wow. Boy, you did, and he sent it right out in front. It was knocked in, we think, by Vidal.
That was almost, I mean, as much as we talk defense for some of these teams, and, you know, we've mentioned with Valley, the long passes to create some scoring chances off the free kick.
Yeah.
You know, send it in, and he was right there to chip it in. And you know, just in a position like that, you almost think there's a body in front, but maybe not.
All right, so the Pioneers jump out to a 2-1 lead here with still 16 minutes to go in the half.
And I'm looking at the stat sheet, and it is Vidal with
Vidal who got the goal. So it's 2-1. And that is his first goal of the season.
Well, we mentioned that both teams can score.
Yep. Here in Kunda, the Vikings had only given up 6 goals this year. And they've given up 2 here in this first half. Ranked number 4 in the country. They were 2, but after the loss to Grandview, they dropped to number 4. So here come the Vikings, finding themselves trading again. Long pass, and it was onside. The ball goes out across the goal line. Fans are upset. And decent crowd here tonight. Few people working out tonight in the Malcolm Center across the way, probably enjoying the action as they get to work out in this evening. 14 minutes to go. McLaren puts it in another gear as he brings it up the left side, trying to get through 2 defenders, but it's knocked away by the Pioneers. Now they'll try to go on the attack, and the Vikings send it back. Here comes the throw in. Headed back. McLaren keeps it in. Ooh, he takes a hard fall in front of the Pioneer bench. He's up and all right. Vikes will have the throw in, and they quickly give it to Ross Clark to do that. He gets it into Illich. 13 minutes to go in the half. Coming up on 9 o'clock Central Time, about 5 minutes to 9. Pioneers send it up their left side. Again, the pace is picking up here again. There was a little lull in the action, but now the pace has really picked up again. McLaren, left side. Back to Illich.
He was scouting for that long pass. There just nothing was open.
2-1 Pioneers. 12 minutes to go, first half. Vikings right now tied with Baker. Baker playing tonight. We should have a score on that. This one's sent high and over the top.
Baker, I believe, beat Evangel 3-1.
3-1, Baker won. Okay, so Baker would be 8-1 now. So the Vikings have to win to stay atop.
Check that. Leading 3-1.
Leading 3-1, okay. They would certainly be the favorite. The Evangels 3-6 in conference play coming in. 5-10 overall.
All the scoring coming in the first half for that. Goals from Corey Mitchell and 2 from Blake Levine.
And Baker will be here a week from Saturday. Vikings will go to the bench here. Wendell Gabriel will come in. Gabriel wears number 7. He'll come in with about somewhere around the 10-minute mark. And it looks like Juan Flores will come in as well. Juan Flores out of Honduras wears number 12 for the Pioneers. And here they both come into the action. Two-one, Pioneers with the lead.
It's Karachi and Garcia coming out.
The Pioneers scored the first goal. Was about 6 minutes into this thing. Here's Ross Clark working left side. Trying to weave his way through the defense. And just into the action is Flores. He puts it in another gear. Fresh out there. 9:45 to go, first half. You can see on the screen, 2-1 Pioneers.
Yeah, the first goal coming at 39-13. Second one coming at 16-20.
This one will go wide right.
And the Pioneers with 2 shots, both on goal and both in.
Coach Wardlow looks like he's giving a little coaching lesson down on the sideline to Karichi. And Karichi heard what was said and walks toward the end of the bench. $8:48 to go. First half. Vikings trailing by a goal. I'm impressed with this Pioneer defense, aren't you? They're just not really letting the Vikings get into their game all that much.
They're doing a good job of effectively neutralizing
That should be offside.
Valley speed, and it is. Right about the 30, I guess 33-yard line.
Chaz Matty will have the play-by-play of half number 2 tonight. McLaren can't stay with it, can't keep it in play in front of the Pioneer bench. $7:47 remaining in the half.
Looks like Miguel Fernandez is about to check in.
All right. Miguel out of Spain. Illich spins, fires a long pass right side. Boy, they love that, don't they? Throw it and then go chase.
If you have the speed, you can run it down.
You betcha.
And Valley does have the speed.
Pioneers, though, have been very efficient defensively.
And almost every time the Valley gets the ball, with any kind of possession time at all, there's like 2 or 3 gray shirts swarming to it. And there's just not a lot of room to go once the ball is under control.
Pikes to the middle. Working to their left side. Here's a shot. Here's the header. Oh, what a save. Riesco, I don't know if he could if that ball's another 6 inches, I don't know if he gets it or not. He was up there, stretched out, and made the save on the header. It was almost up at the crossbar.
Yeah, another 6 inches higher, it might have gone over.
Yeah. What's that goal? 8-foot goal, 8 by 24. And he was at the top of it.
And he came out pointing. I'm not sure if he was happy he made the save or if he was unhappy with his defense.
But he made the save. Riesco's given up just 12 goals this year, 13 goals now.
It's quite the paradox. Both teams score. Neither goaltender gives up a lot.
Yeah. 5 minutes to go in the half. 2-1. Can remind you that our next Moval.edu streaming will be on Saturday, the Central Methodist University Eagles in town. 1 o'clock pregame show. That'll be on KMMO Radio and also on Moval.edu. And then next Tuesday and Friday we have volleyball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next Tuesday, CMU, and then Friday, the Pioneers are here? Okay. So, Chad, you'll have to be watching again next Friday night. The Pioneers will be here. We'll do both of those matches. And then Saturday, I'll head to Evangel for football on KMMO and then try to get back. Maddie will start the Baker doubleheader on Moval.edu. So we have a lot going on, and that doesn't include any of the playoffs coming up.
It's an exciting time to be broadcasting sports here at Missouri Valley.
We're down to 4:15 to go. Here's McLaren trying to split a couple defenders. It does. Splits another one. Now he's tripped. Down he goes. About 20 yards out.
And he got a card.
Lottie pacing in front of the bench. Yellow card. .407 to go in the half.
And it was Flores that received the yellow.
Okay. Yolan Flores.
Number 12, yep.
So the Vikes will have it 25 yards out. And this one is up and through the football goalposts. Now Fernandez comes in. Bobby Collins. Jesus Zilla working. Who else was working tonight? Game 2.
Santiago Salazar. We had Taylor Gilkey for a few minutes.
All right. TJ Barnes.
TJ Barnes on camera.
All right. So the TV production class doing a heck of a job tonight. Bringing you the pictures. McLaren weaves through traffic. Tries to center it. Vikings try to keep it in the zone. And they will. Good move there by Glusevich. Back to McLaren. 3:14 to go. 2-1 Pioneers as we approach halftime. And this one goes out.
And another corner kick for Valley. Last time they were down in this corner was when they scored their last goal.
This time Gabriel's going to do. All right, I said that, and now they're going to switch. And that's going to be Glusevich. So Glusevich with the corner. Sends it in with the left foot. It's headed on top of the goal and the ball line and the net on top.
But it's another corner for Valley.
So we'll do it again. Gusevich with yet another corner. And he'll send this one a little lower this time, off the foot of one of the Pioneers. And the Pioneers will get it out of there with 2 minutes to go in the half.
Foul on Valley back. Back on the far side.
By the way, in the men's tournament, gets started Friday, well, actually Tuesday, October 31st. 8 will host 9 and 7 host 10. Then on Friday, November 3rd, number 1 will host the winner of that game. Number 4 will host 5, 3 versus 6, and then 2 host the winner of the 7-10 game. Semifinals Tuesday, November 7th, and the finals Friday, November 10th conference tournament. Women will play on Saturday, Wednesdays, and the volleyball also on Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. Pioneers had that one in front momentarily. Now 2 players go down. Pretty good collision out in front of the Vikings net.
It was Clark with the clear. I can't tell who flashed in front. I think caught the end of Clark's leg after that kick out.
Clark is up.
Javier Beltran. Yep, Javier Beltran.
Yeah, Beltran. And he's up. Then all right. Minute 17 to go. At least says he's all right. Beltran out of Chile. Two 2-1. A minute 16, all that remains in this first half. See if the Vikings can make one more run here in the first half. Pioneers doing a real nice job keeping the ball away. It's going to be Viking possession. 1 minute and counting here in the first half. In the women's match, won by Pioneers tonight, 2-1. And they are now 5-2-2, and that loss dropped Missouri Valley to 5-3-1, dropped them all the way to 6th place. Here's, send this one in, left side, and now it's going to be sent out. The sliding kick, down to 30 seconds to go. Vikings will have the throw in, and they have to hurry. Pioneers would be content just to send it out again. Here they get it out in front. Ooh. One of the Vikings got a foot on that, but sent it right into the chest of a Pioneer defender. Down to 12 seconds, and that, in all likelihood, may do it for the first half.
And no one's in a rush to throw the ball in, so.
No one's even going to go get the ball to throw it in. So we are at the half. 2-1, Pioneers with the lead. Chaz Matty calls the second half in about 15 minutes.
And welcome back to Greg Mitchell Field inside Volney C. Ashford Stadium on the campus of Missouri Valley College, where the Mid-America Nazarene Pioneers have a 2-1 lead in tonight's game against the Missouri Valley College Vikings. I'm Chaz Matty along with Ken Chiava. Jesus Silly directing, Bobby Collins technical directing, cameras TJ Barnes and Santiago Salazar. Shane Clary on graphics tonight. And that is our crew, our Mass Comm student crew working the games tonight as the action is underway here in the second half.
You know, whenever all the other students are enjoying the start of fall break, the Mass Comm students are working tonight, right?
That's typically how it goes for media people. We don't tell them any differently. A chance for Valley early. The crowd reacts, but the Pioneers manage to kick it away, and that's Urich who gets control of it now and will feed it across the field. 2-1 is the score. And goals coming just 6 minutes in and at the 16-minute mark, and now it's a 2-on-2 for the Pioneers. And a shot that goes well wide of the net. Aaron Kunda didn't have to make a play on it. And it'll be I guess it was tipped off of a Valley player, and everyone's kind of moving toward the corner. And the Pioneers will put it in play from there, and that's Abreu moving that way to try to inbound for the corner kick. The Pioneers had 2 shots on goal in the first half. Both went in. So that's a high degree of efficiency.
Yes.
From the corner, that's headed away. And then on the back side of the play, it gets kicked out. And now Valley will try to move it out. 2-1 the score. Vikings had a number of chances in the first half, but only got it by once. The Pioneer goaltender, Riesco.
That was a very nice goal.
It was a very nice goal. The goal coming from Gusevich. He triggered the corner kick. It got bounded back out to him, and he fired it home. That, at the time, knotted the game at 1, and there's a play, and bodies collide. Everyone's got their hands up looking for some kind of call, and none is forthcoming. So play continues.
Aaron Kunda just gives the ball out and said, let's go.
And as play moves on, the Vikings try to move the ball back and forth inside their own end.
Transportation considerations provided by Elmer Hare Ford in Marshall. When we go on the road covering Viking athletic events, we usually do it, and we always do it in a Ford from Elmer Hare Ford in Marshall. Thank you very much for Matt and all the folks at Elmer Hare Ford working with us on the Viking Sports Network.
So just underway, second half. Vikings looking for more chances. Vikings had 7 shots in that first half, 5 on goal. There's a shot that's easily played.
They headed it, went over top of about 3, 1 Viking and 2 defenders, and an easy play for Riesco.
Huge kick. Forward, that's Harrington on that far side. He'll get it back. And he chips it, and he'll get it back a third time. As now they kind of settle. There's a pass to really no one. But the Pioneers will maintain control. The Baker game is now final, 5-1.
5-1 Baker.
They knock off the Evangel Crusaders. That game played at Baker. So
Baker's now 8-1, and they have a half-game lead on Valley as we play in the second half.
So Valley will need to come back and score a couple goals here if everything kind of holds for the Pioneers to keep pace with the Wildcats. But the defense for MidAm has been pretty stout so far. Valley really hasn't been able to utilize that speed that Vladimir Simic wanted to be able to put back into use. As this ball is kicked off a defender, then off another defender. I guess not. I guess it kicked an offensive person. Looked like 2 defenders had touched it before it went out. But it's going to be a goal kick for the Pioneers. Just because I'm interested, I'm going to mention it. The baseball playoffs underway. Yankees take a 3-2 lead over the Astros. They won 5-0, somehow getting by the previously unhittable Dallas Keuchel. And right now, Cubs lead 3-1 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Cubs on life support at this point.
Hanging in there, though.
But with the lead now, we'll see. That bullpen has been something else.
We have a final on that Graceland game yet? Graceland and
I will look.
And Mount Mercy.
Graceland and Mount Mercy, 4-1 Mount Mercy.
4-1 Mount Mercy, okay.
At this point.
So that would put Mount Mercy at 4-5 and Graceland 3-7 in conference play. This is a big game for Mid-American Nazarene, getting there 5-2-1. Benedictine winning today 6-3. So
this would keep the Pioneers a half game ahead of the Ravens.
Need to win to stay a half game ahead and stay in that 5th spot.
And that goes through, but Riesco saw it all the way, and an easy catch for him. Another drop kick. This goes all the way down. Clark gets a foot on it. But the Pioneers regain possession. And here's a pass right side. A good little feed. And it goes out of bounds, and the ball will go back to Valley for the throw-in. Yeah, the standings, they kind of jumble up. Baker and Valley at 1 and tied for first currently. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, all kind of teams that are occupied top 25 spots in the conference. And these final 3, 4 games will determine quite a bit.
Yeah, 6 teams. Getting 6 teams in the top 25.
Well, and you have a bad week, you may go from 2 or 3 to and hosting a game in the conference tournament, or maybe possibly have 2 games to, okay, pack your bags, you're on the road for the whole shebang. So,
well, just talking to Bobby Reese about that. He's the head coach of the women at Mid-America Nazarene, and we're just talking just about that. All of a sudden, with their win tonight, they're right there in the thick of things, and Valley goes from 2nd all the way to 6th just with a loss. So that's what's going to happen here in the next week or so.
And there's a chance from the left side and played out by the defense. And the ball will stay with Valley. Again, pressure, but no shots. And balls everywhere on the far side of the field.
How many you want? Let's throw 2 or 3 of them out there.
Keep kicking them at them, and maybe one will go in eventually. And that is whistled, and the ball will come back. Maybe. Nope.
Send this one in.
Kusevich. The kick, and there's a shot that's hooked.
Right off of one of the Vikings, I think.
And that's going to be a goal kick. Nope, off one of the defenders.
Off one of the defenders, okay.
Low hooking, headed, or kicked out. Good defensive positioning. And I think that was Harrington way back, and he gets to the side, and Valley will try to regroup and reset for another offensive push. Long pass now across the field. That's settled down by Gabriel. He centers, and that's off the chest of a defender. That looks like it was Vidal, who actually his goal was the difference in the game right now. It goes off his chest, and there's a Viking down. That's Gabriel, who's in the corner of the end zone by the Essen Vikings, and he's rolling around. Clock will stop, 35-13, and Gabriel is kind of hobbling on that, favoring that right ankle, but no magic spray needed yet, so
up.
they're going to do it. And ball's triggered in, headed high and just wide.
Boy, he had a shot there. Was that McLaren? I don't know who it was, but I mean, he came in and had a shot at it. Just sent it a little too high.
So a goal kick for the Pioneers as Riesco will send it down. Riesco's had a solid game so far. Again, the one chance that really he didn't have much to do on Glusevich's kick off that, not off the corner, but off the clear from the corner that he kind of hammered home. Otherwise, he's been pretty solid. Right side now, there's
DeSouza.
Vikings still trying to maintain control. Glusevich had it, kicked forward to the left, and then some bodies got tangled up. There is a whistle, and Valley will get a kick about 19 yards out. Clayton Sousa, we're getting ready to check in.
Yeah, Clayton Sousa.
Sousa from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
So 2 Vikings over there, and the kick is made and goes right into the wall defenders. Kicked again, tipped up, and chested just wide. Everyone's kind of pointing at each other. Nope, off a Viking and Pioneer ball.
Vikings did a nice job of staying with that and kind of, get a little physical to stay with that ball, but could not get it anywhere close to the net. So now Sousa checks in. Clayton Sousa out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, in for the first time tonight.
And it's Miguel Fernandez checked out.
Still 32 and a half minutes to go.
Plenty of time for the Valley. Ooh, there's bodies collide. That's kicked, and it goes over to
the Malcolm Center.
And it kind of plinkos its way down. Valley will inbound or throw it in. Now right side. Up, and Gabriel can't keep it under control. It goes out. Over to the Pioneers and thrown in. Valley gets it back momentarily. Martorell to McLaren. Oh, he tries a nifty little feed. Can't get it through. And then Sousa just in. Tried to slam one by, and that ball got deflected out. And now it's on the far side, and again, bodies collide.
Getting a little physical, isn't it?
Getting a little physical. And I can feel that temperature dropping.
Oh, yeah.
So each one of those hits out there, I imagine, stings a little bit more and more as each degree comes off the thermometer.
About 50, 58, 57 degrees.
A few more degrees. That's hipped away and wide. As we watch the replay, it looked like Illich let the attempt that went wide. Riesco sends it forward, headed there. 3 gray shirts right there, but Valley comes away with it. And they've got Gabriel around the right side. If they see him, they do see him. The ball's a little bit behind him, but Gabriel adjusts. And we'll feed it back to McLaren. McLaren now a little bit of a touch play, and that's DeSouza who sends it across, but MidAm sends it all the way down.
Well, give the Pioneer defense a lot of credit. They're in good position.
Both games, you've seen stout, stellar defense. Quick throw in. That ball kind of hung in the air a little bit. And a clear, and Irankunda, the man you can see from Sedalia.
May see him from the space shuttle.
Yeah.
With that fluorescent suit on.
Long pass headed away. Had a guy cutting on that far left side. And now jostling for position. Coming away with it. That was Clark who was battling for it. And MidAm sends it out to the far bleachers where there's a handful of brave souls over there in the dark just huddled up and watching the Pioneers.
6 to be exact.
With a 2-1 lead with less than 30 to go.
They've all got their coveralls on. They all have blankets. One man in shorts.
He did not get the memo.
He didn't get the memo. Temperatures going down.
It's mid to late October. I think it was MidAm a few years ago, wasn't it? It was like in the late November or mid-November game where you got to do some basketball and I got to sit here.
It could have been.
All my TV cables froze. It was so cold.
Cold. I gladly went to the Burns Center to do basketball. A lot of sporting events will be broadcasting. And then basketball, by the way, starts on the 31st. Now, that'll just be radio only, but it's that time of year.
Yeah, and the TV side of that picks up at the end of November, the Wednesday after Thanksgiving break or the Thanksgiving holiday for everyone. So that's when we start with Tim Dixon's Vikings on the women's side and Chad Lance's Vikings on the men's side. And
I think we go to Mid-America Nazarene early in the season. I think we go there in December. Always fun to go to Olathe.
And nifty little passing. Vikings with possession, looking for an opening, and everyone collapses for MidAm. And I thought he was going to take a shot from about 40 out. Didn't. He passed on the ball and then passes it out to the right side. That's nice interception.
Yes, nice interception again.
That was Abreu, I believe, with the interception, and then Gabriel now has to work it back. And here comes some of that pressure again. Illich feeds it to the center, and there's a couple orange shirts there. There's Clark feeding ahead, and a nice back pass, doesn't get through. Chipped ahead, but Valley keeps it. Shot! Oh, he scores! James McLaren, I believe, with the goal. Woo!
About 30, 35, 33 yards out, and he buried it.
He went short side, a hockey term I know, but that's a short side goal. Riesco couldn't get it, and with 27-21, James McLaren, the sophomore out of Luton, England, ties the game, and now it becomes basically a 27.5-minute long race to see who can win this one, hopefully in regulation, and if not. But we said it's going to take 2 to get Valley above that line and keep pace with Baker, who won tonight. So there's the first part of that equation. 27 minutes to go. 2-2. McLaren with the goal. And for McLaren, as I look this up,
third goal.
Third goal of the year.
Yep, third goal of the season. Boy, both Viking goals have been no doubters. I mean, they have buried in the back of the net.
And there was not a lot that Riesco could do either one of them.
No.
Maybe he could have cut the angle, but
yeah, that shot was taken from 30, 33 yards out, and I mean, it was a
rocket.
A rocket.
So now pressure back on MidAm to generate some offense. Valley looking for that second tally of this second half to possibly take the lead. Right side, Gabriel working in the corner. He centers, and that's headed away. And McLaren, he's just I can kick it hard, and so he did. That ball might be laying on the street by now.
Be on Morrow Street in front of the Burns Center. Hey, look what I found. Soccer ball out here in the middle of nowhere.
We have to borrow the maintenance cart there to go get that one.
Man. So the
we may be on, we may not be on. We'll do it anyway.
So the 2-2 game here with 24:53 to go. And the Vikings now are moving up their left side. Back to McLaren. McLaren. Sends it in. Knocked away by the defense. Here's a shot. Oh, Gabriel's open, but his shot goes wide to the left. So, 2-2 is our score. 24 minutes to go in the contest.
Yeah, pretend like we're still working because we think we might be.
Here's the kick out to the defense. 2-2 game. 24 minutes remaining. Pioneers have it close to midfield. And they'll work it in again. Vikings keeping the pressure on. And they'll send it back out to Cordon. Alex Cordon is in. And they send it to midfield. Vikings again on the working on the attack. This one sent out way out to the right side.